Okay. This presentation was discussed with Rosângela Bentes. She's from the Fundação Hospital Adriano Jorge. And what we are going to share with you is some of the findings or some of the things we want to find, because we haven't concluded it, about what's open innovation in the practice of open innovation, okay? And we are going to present you the experience we are having at the Projeto Bem Cuidado em Casa, okay? So this project, just a moment. I was going to present again. Okay, so this problem has a problem, a concrete problem. It's the care of persons with complex health profile. As we've been discussing before, those people, there are a lot of resources to treat them, and sometimes they are not treated well. So it's the problem, it's already known. And we see as a solution for this problem to improve the coordination, the care coordination. So it's not a belief from ourselves only. There is evidence-based intervention, taking care, improving the coordination of care is one of the most effective intervention to reduce costs, to improve quality of care, and to provide personal quality of life, okay? So at this project, we are aiming at a solution that has two blocks. One of the block is having people, well-prepared team to take care of the coordination. So it's a team that has to have a good understanding how to promote self-care, how to help people when they need the help, and for understanding the care journey, and take this care journey to be more soft for those persons, okay? And the other side are what we call soft technologies. I mean, process and process, sometimes they are automated, sometimes they should have, or they are going to have artificial intelligence to help people, like machine learning and things like that. They have better care information, not care for the one care setting, but the longitudinal care. So this is the project. And as I've mentioned, there are some goals for this project, but there are some things that we changed. We started with this thing. Okay, we have some ideas, but we are not so sure that those ideas are the best one for the hospital. So we have to go back and co-create. That's something I'm going to explain later. But essentially, the concept of what's being provided is a platform-oriented solution. I'll take the presentation of Sueli and Adolfo to make it clear what's a platform. And the longitudinal health record. We have some intelligent care process that we want. And there is one stick to the standards that are emerging standards, that's FHIR. We are going to have health information that can be easily exchanged. Okay, we have some apps for healthcare teams and patients, just like Adolfo showed us today. And we are demonstrating this solution at the public hospital, Fundação Hospital Adriano Jorge in Manaus. And we have a goal to validate this technology beyond the unified health system in Brazil. And we want to know if this solution, there's a market for this solution outside Brazil, okay? So those are the project goals. And what we are learning on this project, I'm going to show you that things that we are trying to pursue in this project. The first one is a world-class complex care managed solution, but it's not a simple one, it's not technology-driven, it's model-driven, but model in the sense of the healthcare model. Okay, so it's the first thing. We are not choosing technology because it's the best technology, but it's the technology that's best fit for solving a problem that is taking care of complex health profile person. And we've adopted the open innovation, as we saw, the KK, because we want to merge, we want to acquire knowledge that we don't have, but we know that it exists outside. So that's the one point. And we are conducting a design thinking and lean startup development. So we have to have a minimal viable product, and we are going to test this product. And if it fails, we're going to change it, we're going to pivot the solution and came to something that's market oriented. And I've said before, it's a platform-based solution. It sticks to healthcare standards. And the last part, I'll talk about the Open Innovation Living Lab. Okay, that's something that we believe that's important and should be adopted. So just on a quick view, as I said, the solution is not driven by technology. It's driven by evidence-based model of care. So we took the best experience on care coordination. We studied a lot of this, and we even propose a model. There's a digital complex care management model. It's a model that we can share with people that interest. It has some building blocks that are really important, and those building blocks are population based. So it's just Manuel showed us on the previous workshop. Most of the population-based model are based on Kaiser Permanente, the pyramid of Kaiser Permanente, or the triangle of Kaiser Permanente, that says that you have to provide care for people based on their care needs, not on the disease anymore, but how the complex the care is for this person. If he demands more care coordination or if he does not demand care coordination. So the identified person and provide them the right service is what we have to do. So starting from this kind of approach, and there are other building blocks that are important. So you must engage persons, you must design person-centered intervention, even personalized intervention, but you have to take, at the same time, to take care of the governance, or the clinical governance of the care network. For example, if the patients go for an intervention in a hospital, after this person is discharged from the hospital, you have to know if he's going to receive the adequate care after the discharge process. So the responsibility of the hospital does not end in the discharge process. It must keep on tracking this recovery of this patient. And sometimes must engage with the care network of this patient, even the primary health care or home care service, like, for example. You have to discuss with them, you have to provide information, you have to give them the opportunity to discuss the case, okay? And at the same time, you have to do a performance management of this service. And for that, you need some methodology for intelligent operation, for outcome feedback. And you are going to need analytics capability, data, and technology infrastructure. So it's a digital model, okay? And how it's open innovation come to us? That's a little, this figure shows out that we establish a kind of governance, a joint governance for the pilot project. And we wrote another project together with the hospital, incorporating the perspective of the hospital for introducing a new service at the hospital. So this new project, it's a project that has commitment from the both sides, and the tasks and the activities are well defined, and there's responsibilities. So that's something important. We consider that the hospital will be the living lab for this project because it's going to be a new service. They must provide care for this person before he goes to the hospital and after discharge from the hospital. So the hospital is the living lab for this project, for this new service. We have the collaboration of Departamento de Informática. Sueli is our mentor on the IT solution and the quality management of the solution that's being provided. So we are going to, this partnership, we are going to learn from the experience of the PUC-Rio, and they are going to mentor us when we need. Another partner are two researchers from the University, Universidade Estadual de Montes Claros, and we are discussing this kind of model with them. So they are part of the research department that works with the healthcare, and they discuss with us the model, we provide and have the answer. The other partner is a company that helped us in the beginning to establish this project as a platform, okay? They start a company. And in the bottom level, there are the companies that are effectively developing the technology, and they are going after those technologies are validated, they are going to explore to exploit those technologies on the market. They are two companies from health care service provider and two IT companies, okay? They are in the bottom of the presentation on the right side. So this is our open innovation approach, and we draw a win-to-win game, okay? Everyone must win on this game. And so I'm speaking about what the healthcare system will gain from this project. So we are we are introducing a social innovation that's going not only to reduce costs, but provide more quality of life for those persons. The population that's being serviced by this new intervention, they will improve their quality of life, reduce their expenses, because we have a public healthcare system. They don't have to pay for the intervention by itself, but there are always costs for a caregiver, for example. They must spend money with that. So they are going to save with this project. For the business sector, we are bringing a new concept, that the hospital as a digital living lab, okay? And so they have opportunity for other projects to start. Just like Sueli mentioned, that's a project that brings other opportunities, not only for the companies that are already working with us, but could be new companies or new models, new business model starting from that. And for the hospital, they are going to have a new service, the complex care management service. It's a service that they don't have yet. It'll be something new for the unified healthcare system in Brazil, the public healthcare system. And we believe that it's effective for, as we said before, to reduce costs, to improve quality of life, and so on. Okay, and they will have they are going to practice what's a digital living lab is kind of be. So they will take this experience for other projects, for other kind of technologies, and they'll be more able to start some innovation partnerships, and they will get public recognition. So everyone who, in this kind of model, it's not for free, as we saw on that video, but something that everyone wins, okay? So it's one of the key issues of the open innovation. Just a little bit about how we are developing the pilot project. We, as I said, we co-create to have some previous experience, we have some models, a lot of things, but we ask the participant from the hospital, what do they think about that? Is this kind of service to be viable after the project? Does it make sense for them to have this kind of service? So we are going to understand what are their pains, and we believe that we are providing the painkillers, okay? And as I said, as a lean startup, we implementing the minimal viable product, not only in the sense of a software, but in the means of a service. You have to do some capacity building because people don't know yet how to do care management. So we have to train them, we have to communicate change, you have to prepare a lot of things for implementing, because it's essentially a cultural change, and you have to take a lot of time to plan to how to do this change, okay, how to introduce a new service in the hospital. you must communicate, you must do a lot of things. So I would say that the technological issues like IT is something like 30% of this project. I think 70% of the project resides on the innovation, the social innovation it brings, okay? Because technology you can buy outside, basic technology you can buy it, but introducing change, you have to discuss with the people. It's not something you buy on the store, okay? And for the pilot server operation, we developed some good project for research project, but I'll speak a little bit more about that on another part. That's we are adopting some methodology in the field of implementation research, because we must understand from this pilot how are the complexity to scale up this kind of project. So we adopt some kind of a methodology more adequate for that. And as on the previous presentation, there's something that's common between Adolfo and Sueli. They are discussing platforms. So the original proposal is a platform, a digital care managed platform with different layers. And this platform, we are going to establish that it's accessible by a bus service, not exactly a bus service, be a file server that can provide information for, and using a standard that's a leading standard today. And so it can contribute to have an ecosystem of different apps, even apps that we are not provided by us, but provided by someone that can make sense for these people. And in the other side, there are layers for the data and knowledge, and there are a layer for process, intelligent process. So this is our dream platform architecture. And of course, there's some problems when we discuss platform. That's why I propose to be something to be discussed more deeply on the next workshop, because platform is not only technology. Technology is part of the platform, but the platform has to have a clear business model. How I am going to expose my data? How am I allowing other providers to develop their application and connect to us? So it's sometimes platform cannot be ruled by the technological side. It must be ruled by the business model of this platform, okay? Because sometimes one partner will say, okay, my technology is better than your technology. I want to switch the technology. So it will come to something that's not the point of it. Technology should never rule such kind of decision, okay? But I propose to discuss this on the next workshop. And so my last slide is not the last one, but there are two more. It's some key issues about Open Innovation Living Lab. I know that most of the people, when you say Living Lab, is thinking on a lab, physically built, okay, things will happen on that lab. That's not my understanding of what's the Open Innovation Living Lab. Innovation Living Lab is just, Adolf said about his platform, it's more a concept than a building, okay? And so this concept must involve all the organization. And for example, the first building block of this concept is the partnership for success journey, okay? If you are going to have a new technology being developed with the participation of a living lab, they must believe on this, to work with you to be a successful journey for this technology, since the first moment until it goes to the market. So it must be a success journey partnership. And there is a need of a business model. Okay, I'm going to provide you some condition to test your technology. I'm going to help to answer the question if this technology is market oriented or not. But what I will gain from that? Okay, is there some kind of reward, some kind of continue that I'm going to get from this? For example, I mentioned that some technology like MP3 that came before MP4 was a technology developed by Fraunhofer. And if they were trying to explore the technology, they probably not everyone would have this kind of device. But they provide the technology and offer the technology to the market, and the companies provide the innovation. So this kind of business model must be clearly defined, okay? The other one, innovation leadership. Living Lab should be stand for some kind of institution that goes to the market and say, okay, innovation is happening here, okay? Must be a learning organization because must understand the new technology that's being validated, incorporate this technology on his operational way to do things, and not only a technology that's go there, but something that's going to change. And the other one is an implementation research. As I said, you must, Adolfo showed us a methodology, that's a methodology for clinic that involves trials and before going. I'm discussing here technology that are already evidence-based, but they must understand how to scale up. So this part of this Live Lab probably is the last mile of the technology development. The one that Adolf showed us, that you must more focus, okay, how this technology will go to the market. What will happen, help this to go to the market. And the last one is the fundraising expertise. Because sometimes you have a partner that doesn't have the money to conduct all the development of this technology. So you must help them to raise funds for go to the market, okay? And this kind of arrangement involving like having angel seed money, fundraiser, venture capital, so on, okay? So it's what I think about open innovation. And for finishing my presentation, I say that nobody has ever built something amazing alone. Okay? Ninguém nunca faz nada magnífico sozinho. I don't know how to say it in Spanish, but I believe strongly that we must combine our knowledge to work together. Okay? So that's what I'd like to share you about this, our experience. And Rosângela, if you want to say something, please. Okay, Maria, as a chair, could you comment?
Yes.
Then?
Well, thank you very much, Rubens. I connecting already with what I'm going to present next. I propose that you describe this platform as the challenge also to look for partnership. Like the platform being developed to be one challenge. It was a very good, I think the main aspect of it is let's say this was kind of the theory that brought together all these discussions that we have had. And nicely, both Soeli and Adolfo had presented the different compositions of the partnerships of the work they have been doing. And you create the text thread around this. It was very comprehensive and I believe easy to understand. And one aspect that is quite often an issue regarding open innovation, and definitely we have to be also aware, is the intellectual property rights. Because we are engaging public and private companies and other types of organizations. This question is to you and also Soili and Adolfo, if they can, if they see any need to complement, they could. How IP is being addressed by this project, and in general, how Carlos Terceiro and PUC Rio deal with, in these cases of, especially cases of projects that are, let's say, open innovation in terms of the composition of the stakeholders, and then but funded by public money.
Soili, want to comment?
Go you first.
Okay.
Could you talk, Rubens, first? It's okay.
Go ahead, ladies first.
No, I was thinking about but I forgot the word to about the people, the partners, that's the words that Maria asked about the
intellectual property.
Yes, sorry.
IPR.
Yes, property. In the case of our project, the property is the partners. Each one put your solution, develop, test, and spread in the market, and the rights is the partners. This is what BNDES says for us.
Did you get advice from the BNDES that to go that way, or okay?
Yes, you made some contract and write contract with the partners, and this is so clear to both that go inside of the project. We have a department at PUC that take care of this partnership, and this is we deal with the partner before starting the project, and in this case you use the directions that was passed by the BNDES.
Okay. In our project, there are, as I said, we are considering not only designing the product, but also designing the business model. And so we have provision of contracting outside consultancy on this matter, and we are going to discuss this business model with the involved partners. And so, as the project started, the property. Initially, it was a property of the two companies that submitted the project, but it only applies to the IT solution, because there are other components that our partners brought, like Auditari and Med brought other parts of the solution, and we are going to discuss our business model case.
Yes, I think when everybody get effort and put contributions into the solution, maybe other model could be discussed, and a property could be for all.
As I said before, I think that should be one of the topics of our next workshop. Mm-hmm. Okay. Going to the market and in the business of platforms. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, in our project we have the different models depending on the kind of project. I mean, if you develop the project, you are the proprietary of the rights, of the IP rights. But as we are a public research organization, you have to negotiate with the institution if you plan to sell the development of the project. And there are others models. For example, European projects, usually the thing you develop inside the project is property of everybody. But prior to the development of the project, you have to sign an agreement about the property rights of the things that you have before you start the project. So you have to, in some way, keep the property of the thing you have before the project. And there is another one. We have a special kind of projects here in Spain that are performed by companies, okay? But the companies have the obligation of subcontract part of the work to research institutions, as we are. In that cases, the intellectual property of the developments is of the company, not yours. Usually you can write publications and so on, but the property rights are usually of the company in these other kind of projects in which you are subcontracted the work. That's all.
Yes, I think you need each project, you have one specific contract and the specific clauses.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. Then any one of the participants would still like to pose a question?
I think
Okay.
because the time.
Yes, I'm also concerned regarding that.
Sorry.
Okay, I can go to the next presentation, that's mine. But first I was looking here at the participants that are still online. Do you have any representatives of SECON and Fundação Hospital Adriano Jorge? And
They all left.
yeah, that is put a challenge because the challenges that we had already was mainly described by themselves. Then I put like to your appreciation, should we try to combine another meeting separate with then I can present quickly what I have in mind.
Maria,
and then yes,
I have a proposition. I think
yes.
you should share with us quickly what you've done. And after we should schedule some individual calls with the three hospitals, okay? And to share with them, so it will be a direct communication, okay? Since they are not here now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, I will start sharing.